Brown home, Magnolia Ridge, and the Nathaniel Offutt home. $30 a person. It's going to be the weekend of November 19th on a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Give a call to Miss Ethel Londrano, 826-7337.
Election day. You can vote early and then come out and visit these old homes. I don't think the public really fully understands how many homes are historic in Washington, Louisiana. It's a little, in fact,
not just in town, but surrounding the town
on
too.
Monday, Monday's Morning Advocate, every now and then I talk about the Monday. It's a full page about some community or some parish or something of that nature. Very interesting. This Monday here, the feature was Washington in the historic era, and of course now a lot of antique stores have opened there. So there's a lot going on in Washington, and I can certainly recommend that you go by and visit and plan on staying long enough, and then if you go kind of late in the afternoon, you can go over to the Steamboat Warehouse and get some good food.
I had the same idea. You know, you go and see chef owner Jason Hughey over at the Steamboat Warehouse. Great seafood, fresh Louisiana seafood. Let me tell you, this guy likes to fish, likes to hunt. He goes out, he sees things. He's not bringing you that fish that came from last year's freezer. This is a guy that's active in seeing what's going on out in the community, bringing in new stuff. I know I've gone in there and it's like, you know, this week I had a chance to get some fresh quail. I got some chance to get some good Angus beef, and he, you know, showcases it on his menu where he modifies it on a week-by-week basis. Go by the Steamboat. Great wine selection, great ambiance in the old warehouse. And one more in Washington. Let's talk about Washington State Bank. All your banking needs. They're open 24/7 with their online banking. You can do all your banking transactions.
One of the oldest banks in the state of Louisiana.
That's correct. And you can transfer your money between your accounts. You can pay your bills. You can look up your statement. You can reconcile your statement all online, get into their business calculator and figure out how much that note's going to be. If you're thinking about borrowing a little bit of money, they got all that stuff online where you can compute it, and then you get all your stuff together and go by and see them about borrowing a little bit of money. Washington State Bank.
You bet. Let's talk about a little bit about the election that took place.
Yeah.
This past Saturday. It had a fair turnout, considering
better than it was initially anticipated.
That's correct. The governor didn't have any substantial opposition to really create. That's the big race at this time of the year, and of course the same goes true to most sheriffs. Our sheriff didn't have, he had a good man, but wasn't well known or well financed. So our sheriff won easily. Right here, Sheriff Newstrom won easy. Sheriff Theriot in St. Martin, on and on and on. I don't think any of them in Acadiana here got defeated, to my knowledge. I didn't hear of it if it did occur. So then the senatorial race here in St. Landry, Lafayette, and St. Martin, the 24th district, there was a heated competition there. There's going to be a runoff between the incumbent Senator
Elbert Lee
Gilroy and former Senator Don Craven Sr. So that's going to create some activity, of course, for the runoff. And there's two police, well, not police jury, councilman races that's going to be on the November 19th. That's what brought us up to this.
That's the incumbent Herlin Dupre against challenger Charles Daniels, both from the Port Barre area.
Well known, both of them, so the people have a good choice, good candidates. And over in the Washington Grand Prairie Plaisance district, the incumbent is Kenneth Vidrine, and he was challenged and is in the runoff by former Councilman Hewitt, better known as Pichu Dupre. And so that's going to create, I think all the other races in the parish have basically been
I think you're correct.
settled.
Bill Fontenot as parish president won.
Yep, congratulations
all the
to
other
you, cousin.
seats I think have all been taken care of.
And Ladrika.
Theriot.
Theory.
I'm saying Theory.
She won handily.
Right.
And who else? Anybody? Well, Bernard Labar over in the northern part of St. Landry.
Eric LaFleur is the senator in the northern part.
And he has a small, I don't think he has quite as much in St. Landry as he once had.
Correct. I don't think it goes all the way into Port Barre like it once did. I think some of that's in Elbert Lee Gilroy's district now.
No, right. And then, of course, you have that
Then there's two at the corners too, and I forget who those two corners are. The very
Well, he has
Extremes.
something almost into Eunice, or a little small section. We're talking about Eric right now,
Right,
LaFleur.
right.
And we want to congratulate, and I try to always do this. There are no losers. You might not be in the runoff, or you may not have gotten elected, but you made our democratic form of government work. So please don't anybody badger somebody about, well, you didn't win, you didn't make a good race. At least they offered their services to the public, and I like to thank them, because otherwise we wouldn't have the democratic form of government that we presently have.
It takes a competition to keep the guy who wins honest. You know, it makes sure that he covers all the bases, because he can't just support his people. You got to support the other guy's people too, to make sure that they're with him next race.
Yes, sir.
We got a benefit coming up for Miss Dolores Corville on Saturday, November 19th, over at the St. Bridget's Catholic Hall in Lawtell. She's a breast cancer patient. So if you want to help out, you can call Haley Boudreau at 331-6010 or Nikki Gaspard 298-0094. I'm not sure all the details of what's going to happen, but I think it's like a barbecue dinner type event and some music and that type of thing.
What about Coach Payton?
With the broken leg.
Yep, and I'll tell you what, he was
bad.
up in the coach's booth, and maybe he needs to stay up there. They've never scored 62 points, and I'm joking, but
Those assistants think of that as a job interview. You know, everybody in the world knew that they were going to have to step up, so they made sure to step up.
And I'm happy that Coach Payton was confident enough in the end of the third quarter or so. He went on downstairs. You saw him on his crutches,
better.
but he's on crutches. It's more serious than what they thought of at the moment that it happened.
We also got, not this Friday, we've got downtown with Gino, but the following Friday is going to be French Friday at the Courthouse Square. I want to let everybody know it's going to be a huge deal with Horace Trahan, the Olsen Express, Little Kenny and the Heartbreakers. There's going to be a chalk art exhibit, art walk, all kind of things the following Friday. So that's going to be November the 4th at the Courthouse Square in the evening. So be ready then as well. French Friday. Come speak French.
We tape on Wednesday mornings.
Yes, sir.
Like we're doing today. And the World Series is taking place. And as of this morning, Texas is ahead 3 games to 2 games.
Which is kind of a shocker, because St. Louis was doing better and then kind of fell apart in that last game.
So tonight, Wednesday night, if Texas wins, then they win the World Series. Correct. You have to win 4 games, so they're already at 3. So kind of just bringing it to you, it's both teams have some tremendous players, and I think the people are getting their money's worth of watching free television.
You got it. How about, let's hit one more sponsor. How about Dixie Storage? All your storage needs, personal and commercial, with locations throughout St. Landry Parish. Easy access in Washington, Port Barry, and Opelousas. You can get it off the railroad spur, where they got easy off and on. They got the big lifts. They can take all the stuff off for you. If you got something coming in for off the railroad, send it to Port Barry Dixie Storage. They'll unload it, have it ready for you. They can truck it with their sister company, Dixie One Trucking, can finish delivering that load for you. They do inventory control. They got warehouses for rent, 2 little restaurants, I think, still for rent in the Port Barry area. Don't forget their sister company, A Plus Glass, locations in Opelousas and Lafayette. There's commercial glass and personal glass and auto inspections all the way up to 18-wheelers.
You know what's growing is this kayak fishing. And they actually had a tournament over in Pecan Island recently. And of course, you saw them in the Tour de Teche. You saw a number of those in that particular event, and it's really it's amazing the size of the fish that they're catching. The picture I have on my desk, I wanted to show that to Blue and Noel from they fish out of Venice, and
that little bitty boat can pass anywhere, so you can go in shallow water. You can go in between some trees.
Like the reds, they can get right into the marsh section where the reds just hang out.
We need to get you one of those now. You got a paddle now. You got to use your paddle.
Oh, but I don't swim too good. I don't believe I'd be capsizing too much.
You have to learn, if you're going to do a kayak, you want to learn how to roll all the way through. If you roll over to one side, you want to learn the motion to bring yourself all the way up.
Oh yeah, you tried that, or you just
that's,
talked?
that's part of when you learn how to kayak. If you're going to take lessons, they try to teach you. Learn how to roll all the way.
Our local sheriff, of course, won handily in his race.
Sheriff Bobby J. Guidros.
Yes, and they're helping to clean the rural areas with the trustees are out there working diligently and trying to keep the certain areas of the parish historically have had people that went and threw trash, and
The ends of roads and that type of thing.
I remember throwing a Coke can out of a car one day. It was a cold day. We were about 6 people in Nick Fakura's big Cadillac, and I threw that can. Carolyn, his wife, said, "Stop the car." Backed it up, made me get down and pick it up. Well, so from that day on,
fixed you,
every
huh?
time I'm threatened to do that, I said, "Whoop, Carolyn might be looking." I look around to make sure.
There you go.
But on the other hand, at one point, people were throwing on the side of the interstates, so these people that pick up cans for a living, I mean, to supplement their living, let's put it that way, were doing it for that reason. But anyhow, thank Sheriff for all of the work you're doing, keeping our parish clean. I know he does a big job for us at 3 Mile Lake over there.
You got it. And we're down about a minute for the commercial break.
Really? They had also a big race that took place, and it wasn't between 2 people. It was over the deconsolidation issue
In Lafayette
Parish of breaking down the deconsolidation plan, the consolidation plan that's now in effect. They would have gone back to
City of Lafayette and then the rest.
And the rest. But that did not pass. In fact, the voters said no by 63%.
Surprised me.
And
that whole
of
deal.
course, by that same margin, I noticed here, City Parish President Joey Durrell won by 63%.
He's popular.
And Kevin Nakan, who I met, he was participating in a golf tournament that the Elks had put on recently here in Opelousas, and he won by 71%, a brand new, out of the box. That's his first race. That's always the easiest race because you're not carrying
There's
all
no
that
negativity
No
at that point.
negativity. You
He's
haven't voted
popular.
on anything yet. So Kevin, you know, he's a college graduate. He's a very impressive young man.
We got to go to break. 3 minutes, TV and radio. We'll see you folks on the other side of 3.